Hi, I'm Matt Fletcher. I'm the Commercial Manager at John Mark. I've been in the printing industry now for 22 years. John Mark are global leading manufacturers of digitally printed wall coverings using HP latex technology, water-based ink. We house 6 productive HP 1500 machines which are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We have a further 2 smaller sampling machines which we only use for small testing, and we're currently trialling the HP 800W, which has a white layer, so in effect has a digital white layer screen print effect, which we're getting some fabulous effects from. We work with designers large and small, so anybody from university graduates right through to international world-renowned home decor brands and everything in between. And our business model is a print on demand and stock model. We treat everybody the same, they all get the same service, they all get the same lead time, and we have built our business off the back of that. Digital print, and certainly within John Mark, gives designers the opportunity to sample their collections for a fraction of the cost of the traditional processes, and it also means that we can offer them complete flexibility in terms of the amount of colours they're printing. That will not change the cost of the price of the roll of wallpaper that's eventually produced. When you compare that to the traditional processes where a designer would have to invest in having screens or rollers cut, they would only be able to produce one design in multiple colourways. So the benefits are there for all to see. Another benefit of digital print is the fact there is no minimum order quantity, so a designer can order 1 roll upwards really. That means they don't need to hold stock and they can print on demand with ourselves. That's a real benefit, especially when setting up to help designers with their cash flow. The fact we've got so many print machines really does mean that there is no reason why we can't produce 1 roll with another 1 roll and print them together on the same material, giving the designer the opportunity to test out lots of designs at a minimal cost to the cell. Another benefit of digital print is the speed in which we can deliver. From taking an order in, our standard lead times are within 10 to 15 working days. When you compare that to traditional printing, that can be anywhere between 6 to 10 weeks on volume printing. Obviously different processes completely, but you can see why this benefits the new designers that are coming through from Instagram that want to create new designs and get them into the market quickly. So digital print is changing the market, and it seems to be the way the new style design community wants to go.
Hi, my name's Tony Morgan. I'm the Business Development Manager here at John Mark Limited. I've got a lot of experience within the actual printers and the AVA side software, so I spend a lot of my time in the print room working on the production and helping the customers through what they need to do whilst they're here. At John Mark we are quite a small team, it's a tight-knit team, so there are 4 of us that work in the actual print room. There is myself and John Mark who oversee the production department, making sure that everything's scheduled and all the printers are set up and doing what they're supposed to be doing, maintenance is up to date. We have 2 operators that are both fluent in AVA and they use that on a daily basis for setting up designs for print, checking repeats, colouring, anything like that, along with all the profiling things that we do. And we have 1 more guy in the print room with us who helps us with all the operational aspects of our day. With having 6 production machines, it's a very busy day, changing papers out, putting new papers in, and getting everything ready for production and all the maintenance that comes along with it. And then we have another team who are our finishing, trimming and finishing department. Every reel that we print will move out of the print room to that area where it's trimmed into 10-metre rolls or anything different if it's a bespoke project. Trimmed up, make sure it's perfect for butt fit for installation, and then it goes through our wrapping and finishing department before we send out.
We offer all designers the opportunity to come and work in our studio, actually on the presses printing, and sampling their colours, because there's nothing better than getting everything signed off in one go with the machines and with the production team.
We have D65 daylight replicating bulbs throughout the entire facility, both in the print room and our state-of-the-art studio that we use for when we have clients on site. And what we do to maintain the level of consistency is we make sure whenever we're doing any colour matching or anything like that, that it's always taken to the same location, checked in that same location and passed in that same place, so we can ensure consistency between different print runs. To be honest, I don't think any substrate is harder than another. We have quite a lot of policy and procedure in place so that between any individual substrate we make sure we're always doing the same things with colour calibrations, profiles, machine maintenance, all that sort of thing, so everyone is as good as another. We do colour calibrations and profiles with every substrate that goes into the printer, whether that's two different substrates in one machine in one day. They will both get a fresh colour calibration profile. We use the spectrophotometer to read in the profiles, so that we know whatever we're printing is consistent, whether it had been printed 6 months ago, 2 months ago or yesterday. Whatever we print tomorrow will be the correct colour as it has always been. We also carry out strict maintenance on our printers to ensure that print heads and the machine itself is behaving as expected to optimum levels, so that we ensure that everything we do is to the top quality. And everybody within the building knows that is our procedure, so it's second nature to everybody, and we know that by doing that it's easy. So we get the process sorted from the beginning, and then going forward we know it's going to be correct because we've set out our stall at the beginning. So I'm quite fortunate, I would suggest, in that I've never really used anything other than AVA. Obviously I know there's other RIP software and design software out there, but ever since I started in the world of digital print I've always used AVA. I do use Photoshop on occasion. We get some Photoshop files through from customers, but I'm much more comfortable using AVA as it's all I've ever known. It's a cliche, but I think the biggest lesson to learn is that you've never actually finished learning. And I know that sounds really ridiculous, but there is so much to take in. There's always a new technology or a new way of doing things, or even just a slightly different way of doing things, whereas, you know, we've got 3 or 4 of us here using the AVA software, and we might use 2 different ways to get to the same end goal, so it's always learning what could be a better way of doing things, and just how to make life easier for yourself, really. So it is a steep learning curve, and it's one that you just continue climbing. I've been involved in wall coverings for over 10 years now, initially starting in traditional print, but digital is the future of wall coverings. Its possibilities are endless. It's brilliant that designers can do whatever they want with it, where you don't have the constraints of traditional print, of vertical repeats or mass expenditure to get set up. Digital is at everybody's fingertips, and it's ready to go as soon as a designer is.
Best thing to do would be to research each company thoroughly to make sure they can service the business you're looking to achieve. Maybe speak to other designers in the design community and get referrals to who they use, because once you've invested money in your patterns and getting all the colours correct, then of course those patterns and those colours are set within that company. So you have to make sure you've done your due diligence and research prior to choosing which company you're going to work with in the future. I would say that John Mark are the #1 for looking after the young designers and new designers coming through and harnessing and helping them scale the business to become much bigger brands like some that are in the market today.